here.
Yes.
And he and I haven't talked. So on Saturday when I woke up, I opened my Instagram, and Chris had DM'd me at 2:40 in the morning. So, if I can talk to him.
I don't know that he is open to speaking tonight. He doesn't want anything to take away from the celebration of the evening.
I don't know the context. 2:42 in the morning. He worked there.
He was still at work.
Okay, I didn't know any of that.
You didn't slide in her DM. You responded to a story.
Right.
Right? That's the difference.
Exactly. I didn't like search and DM and
Right.
Okay. So, well, his actions, whether they were innocuous or not, have been interpreted that way.
By a friend that looked like Sesame Street.
Oh, Lord, I can't.
So my friend was at the spring party, and she said that, Chris was being a little bit flirty with her. She was standing at the bar ordering a drink, and he came up, and he was like.
It's giving no.
So now you're coming for, okay. So you're insulting my attractive friend.
I mean, whatever. She had a Sesame Street twinkle in her eye.
He's like, oh, hey, Deborah, how are you? He was very flirty. If I didn't know he was married, I wouldn't have known. Next time I see him, we'll have a longer conversation.
All I'm gonna say, Chris, when you said those things about me on Twitter, I took it as
which things?
Well, one question I do have for you, actually, I watched the episode last night, and you apologized to Candace. I thought that was huge. I know she felt like it may or may not have been genuine.
Fair.
Have you all made up at this point, or are you still kind of between a rock and a hard place?
I would say it's not quite a rock. Like, it's not a hard place, but it's also not happy-go-lucky, gumdrops and lollipops between us.
You're not texting each otother, hey, what's up kind of deal?
Absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, we did film the reunion, so there were some things that we discussed and that came to light. So, no, we still have a lot of work to do.
When you downloaded Karen, did you tell her that you called her a prostitute?
And I'm like, what?
Did you defend me?
I was like, what? So what are y'all telling me?
No. Okay, so gotcha.
I did think that she had affection for Blue Eyes, her driver.
Let me be very clear with you. If that were true, I would admit that. It's not true.
They owe me an apology. But I'm not going to hold my breath because I'm having a great time. One of my former castmates called me and told me to sue Charisse. Listen, I'm very financially able to sue Charisse, but I wouldn't waste a penny on Charisse.
Since you're talking about Charisse, here she is. Okay?
I'm here. If you have something to say to me,
I'm not speaking about you.
Why is Giselle and Robin so invested in pushing this woman that's been kicked off the bus down my throat, trying to make us be friends when we will never be friends, and rightfully so? Well, let me answer that question for you. Giselle already told you in her prior interviews that for the season with other outlets that, she brought Charisse back so that she can do her dirty bidding. And I can only surmise that is because Giselle wanted to get back at me for saying she had a hot box. And that's that, okay? How that working for you? Not good at all. Robin, on the other hand, is mad with me because I called out her fake ass wedding.
I want to take you, Robin.
I want to take you, Robin.
To be my wedded wife.
To be my wedded wife.
In sickness and in health.
In sickness and in health.
As long as we both shall live.
As long as we both shall live.
I could have called out a lot of things, okay? But I called out her fake ass wedding. And she's pissed.
Real Housewives of Potomac, Robin Dixon addresses allegation of Juan Dixon cheating. The Real Housewives of Potomac cast member Robin Dixon recently admitted that her husband Juan Dixon did in fact have an affair with a woman while they were engaged. And that is one of the reasons why their wedding was delayed. Last week, a woman came forward alleging that she had a relationship with Juan during the pandemic, and she literally had receipts to prove it. Ooh, honey. Yes, for the starless Robin Dixon, child. The side piece was going to become famous off of them, but are they famous?
Ooh.
Robin and Giselle?
No, I think she's talking about her.
Her and her husband?
Yeah, her and her husband. She said that the lady was going to become famous.
Off of them.
And I was like, are they famous?
Where do we even begin? Like, so many accusations being thrown around.
It was good for me.
until last night at dinner.
You know, I got to be accused of all this other stuff and, you know, like I'm being desperate to be around this group.
Just say you just don't want her around. So you're just trying to find a reason to be mean to not have her around.
I didn't understand Robin's personal attack on me.
Honestly, I think that Karen did not like that Sharice was the one with the connections
Robin,
that put the group together.
That is not true.
That is the philanthropist. That is the true socialite in Potomac. I see you for who you are.
That is what it looks like to you, and I receive that, Robin, but that's your opinion, and
all
it's
that
wrong
dramatic yesterday, that was
wrong
some
as
bullshit.
you. The way she did it, it was a venomous attack on me.
Thank you. When Robin was at her lowest, when she and Juan first got divorced, Sharice was very supportive and was there for her.
I don't fuck with that woman because I don't fuck with that woman. And it's not because she got some tea on me. I want you guys to watch. And I know you all will agree when the truth comes out that you wouldn't fuck with her either.
Is there anything that you want to get off your chest, like right from jump?
Well, I think the viewers watched it too, and the viewers are really, really smart, Tati. You know, they were watching it with me, and we were all so happy to see Robin finally clock in. It's been 7 years, right? And here she comes with all this energy all of a sudden, and we're like, wow, Robin is going to have a storyline. And whoop, skirt, wait a minute. We did not know that her storyline was going to be the master of deflection.
I debated on whether, like, addressing this because, you know, I don't know. I don't really give attention to stuff like this.
Right,
and
true.
to people who want attention. But I figured there were a lot of lies and things being misconstrued.
Yeah, you know what? So, okay, so first of all, when I watched that episode, you know, they sent it to us before the reunion, I died laughing at the sketch of the blonde in Georgetown. These actors are hilarious. Like, it was so funny, but it was just, what was even funnier to me was that Karen, like, those words actually came out of Karen's mouth.
There's so much I know about Robin Dixon, and she knows that now, including Juan's other woman.
I'm like, you don't think you sound ridiculous right now? Like,
I've heard it. That's what the blogs were saying. But I have questions.
Oh, he was walking around Georgetown holding her hand. And I don't know if I forget what they show on the show and what actually, like, I remember being told in person. So I don't know if they said that. Maybe they did. But they say he walked around Georgetown holding her hand. And I'm like, that would be the dumbest man alive.
So what I will say, okay, so for y'all, I'm sure all y'all that are listening don't really know exactly what we're talking about because you don't, you know, live on Instagram or whatever, TikTok, Twitter, whatever it might be. Young lady came forward talking about she and Juan dated during COVID. And she shows this like hotel receipt with his name on it.
Right.
Okay. That's like that's legit. I don't know. I mean, that's
the premise of the allegation.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So, you know, what I want to, okay. So what I want to say, first of all, I was aware of the situation before we filmed season 7.
Second of all, Juan also has been a public figure in our area since the 2000s because he played in the NBA. He played for the Washington Wizards. He played, you know, at the University of Maryland, won a national championship. He's not that stupid to go to Georgetown and walk and hold somebody's hand.
In that he's in Georgetown with her all the time. Like, they walk down the street holding hands and stuff.
So I already knew it was bull crap. But I just wanted to hear it from the horse's mouth. Like, hey, this is what they're saying.
Hello?
What's up, Rob?
Hey, so I'm here with Ashley, and Ashley's telling me that Karen has come to her and said that you have a girlfriend that has long blonde hair and that you walk the streets of Georgetown holding hands with her. And a blonde hair. You said she's like old like Karen?
Robin, I'm about to hang up because this is why I don't like this.
Now, the situation when it was presented to me was discussed. It was handled. It was something we had to work through, you know. It was not something that it was just like, oh, okay, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
However, there are a lot of things that need to be cleared up with what's being said with what allegedly happened, which did not. Yes, Juan was an idiot and communicated with this woman on Instagram, you know, because whatever. He's bored. He needs attention. He's, it's the pandemic, blah, 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 whatever.
Right.
However, they did not date. He did not fly her anywhere.
Right.
And there is a reason why his name is on a hotel receipt, which I will share on Patreon.
Yes. Boom.
And the reason is not because he asked her to come and was volunteered to pay for this hotel room. I will say, just with respect to Juan and I, we dealt with the situation. It was definitely something that, we had to work through relationship wise. Maybe that's why the wedding didn't happen when y'all wanted it to. Oh, really? I mean,
let's discuss.
Not only did Robin come after me, she first came after Wendy with the fight and the altercation with Mia.
Robin. So honestly, at this point, we are oil and water, and I am fine with that. All right.
And I don't care about like filtering myself or saying things that I think would be well received by the audience.
Mm-hmm.
For example, not inviting Wendy's kids to the play date.
This is not okay.
Why is that not okay?
It's just the kids.
I said, Candace, can you take on an auntie role? Reach out to Wendy. Say, Wendy, I got your kids. I'll bring them. And Wendy declines.
You should have been bigger than that.
Yeah, I know that that's not a good look. But guess what? I'm a human being. And if I'm literally arguing with someone, and you saw there's a lot of stuff you didn't see. She called me the devil. She told me all of Baltimore was going to come after me. Like, if I'm literally in an argument with someone, I'm not speaking to you. Like, that's human nature. And I want to know what person in their right mind would turn around to a person and say, oh, would you like to come to family day? But
right.
I have all these people messaging me, oh my God, it's too horrible. The kids are off limits, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but their mom is not.
We saw that season 5, there was a very healthy conversation with the housewives after Monique and Candace got into their altercation. Right. There was a sit-down conversation that all of you ladies were a part of. May I ask you, was that same grace given to you after that moment?
Greater Face said that you know what, Wendy, you got one more time. Imagine a woman throwing a drink on another woman for not calling a man. No. What type of woman does that? Look at you. Look at the CEO. Look at the CEO. Look at the CEO. Oh, look at the CEO. That's why you getting up. You gonna throw another.
Well, in Maryland, what the hell?
Like, you embarrassed yourself. You embarrassed your whole business.
Y'all are gonna see a lot of people eat their words. Y'all remember everybody's position, how, this is not what we do. We're better than this. Watch. Pay close attention. This season is about paying close attention and paying attention to the ways that the goalpost is continuously moved depending on who is on the receiving end. That's what this season's about. That's what this season's about.
No, stop antagonizing. You antagonize to the utmost.
Y'all better get security here for real, because For what? What are you gonna do?
Shut up! Why are you sitting worried about my life? I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt.
Please put your fingers out of my face. Please put your fingers out of my face, Robin.
This is putting my finger in your
out of
face. Please don't tell anyone I tried to fight you anymore.
It's dangerous for you to be held back.
As a thug. I was not held back.
You were held back. Maybe you were so drunk you don't remember.
She was not.
After watching the episodes, do you realize Charisse did need to hold you back from Wendy at the dance studio earlier this season?
So we've got some context missing here. She did not. So
the clip shows that she was.
She didn't have to hold me back.
Okay, well, she was holding you back.
She wasn't holding me back.
Okay.
She got up. She even says in that moment, it was a natural reaction to get up. And honestly, like, I'm not perfect and I don't pretend to be perfect, so I don't expect to be on a reality show about our real lives being perfect. And so it's fine if people want to get upset from episode to episode. That means that they're enjoying the show.
Everybody's entitled to their own opinion of us, but you know, that's social media. Right. I always feel like social media does not pay us, so I don't pay attention to it.
I'm like, what, Robin? But I was sort of enjoying her energy level until it shifted and she came after me. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. But I'll say this, Tati. I feel that this season definitely was a season of deflection for Robin. There is no way that she started taping season 7 and did not know the allegations, the legal allegations facing her now husband was at her front door.
This is Ibn Williams, a hooper at Coppin State. His head coach is Juan Dixon, seen here, the former Maryland Terrapin star and NBA player, plus Lucian Brownlee, director of player development and director of basketball operations, who is accused of catfishing, then blackmailing his own player, Ibn Williams. Dixon was informed of what went down and failed to take action against Brownlee and support his former player Williams. Brownlee harassed, tormented, and essayed Williams before publishing intimate material he had obtained from the student.
But you got to give her credit because we didn't talk about that all season, okay? This girl threw everything at us. And again, it was frightening watching her coming so alive. You're like, oh my God, where's she getting this energy from? What is she taking, B12 or what? But, you know, I'll say that for me, it really was laughable. She must have been in a really bad place to have to recruit her desperate friend and Giselle to push this false narrative about me.
I talked to Ashley earlier.
Yeah.
And she told me that Karen and her talked because she was upset about what happened last night and that Karen dropped a bomb.
I think she's full of Well, first of all, it should not be a surprise to Karen that I think she's fake, phony, a bullshit. But the things that she was saying to Charisse and
was attack of character.
You have been banned from public events because you have attacked people's families.
You know, I don't talk about other people's personal life and the stuff that comes out, and people say things. I mean, people say you have a boyfriend. Do I talk about that? Blue Eyes or whatever his name is?
Either I like you or I really don't, and I've come to not really like her. You know, I constantly was there for her as a friend, a real friend. I never would throw Karen stuff on the show unless she would say something a little crooked to me. Because I used to say, don't lie on me because then I'll tell the truth on you.
Like here, and Carlos, I really don't talk about people. But this woman has said so much about me for some reason unbeknownst to me, because I really would never put her shit out on Front Street or say anything about her. If I wanted to say this stuff, I could have said it for season 1, season 2. It's just not my MO to put people's stuff out there, but now I don't give a fuck. So,
but then we'll see what happens. But let's be clear. Does Charisse have a lot of tea on Karen? Yes, she does. And it will be spilled. The tea will be spilled, people. Don't you worry.
Is the tea that Karen allegedly has stepped out on her marriage?
Carlos, I can't say all of that. I'm getting a phone call from Bravo now. But I'm going to say, I hate these phone calls. I'm going to say that Charisse has tea that we've all known, but we just didn't spill it.
You know, all complete lies and just be so vicious about it. But the good news is that I know my truth. The fans knew it. They stood by me, and, you know, I'm really, really grateful for them. But again, a woman who knows her truth doesn't really panic.
That looks like somebody you know, right?
Yeah, that looks like
Let
her.
me see. Yeah, and this man potentially has blue eyes, right? May I see?
I'll say this, Tati. The picture that they talked about, the network didn't even play the picture because the picture showed nothing.
This is blue eyes.
It's a picture of you from the back.
Oh, Jesus. Kiss my...
We get all these people, we don't know. We have somebody that's right here who, I'm not going to break any glasses.
I've never seen the picture. Therefore, I don't know that woman in the picture, if there is a woman in the picture. Do you know if there's a person in the picture?
No, I don't.
So my thing is, all right, enough said. And, when you walk in your truth, you really don't worry about your enemies. You keep them very close, but you don't worry about them. And I always subscribe to the philosophy, the hole that you dig for me, you're going to fall in yourself.
But was the picture actually incriminating? I mean, it was just two people in a bar.
It wasn't.
Right?
You're right.
Okay.
Absolutely. So was she there to was she dating him? No, but it was definitely her ass.
The truth came out in the end, and now we are wrapping up, if you will, season 7, and season 8 is all about what's at Robin's doorstep. And there will be no deflection. There will be questions, and she'll have to answer.
Correct. Can you clarify why she had a hotel receipt with Juan's name on it?
Oh, wow, you want to get all into there. Okay,
Yeah.
so I really don't want to give her this attention, but...
Now, one last thing. She had also mentioned that you sent Juan a request via Zelle or something for $4,000, basically, I guess, insinuating that you were asking for the money in order to not go to the blogs or something to that. Can you speak on that?
So the hotel receipt comes into play because for whatever reason, she decided that she wanted to fly to Maryland. And she had told Juan that she was dating a Baltimore Ravens player.
You feel like Juan gave her the story that she has regurgitated to all of us?
Definitely.
Okay.
She's telling him she's flying to Maryland, and he's like, okay, whatever. But somewhere along the way, she gets to Maryland, she's reaching out to him, she tells him she lost her wallet in the casino and she cannot pay for her hotel room.
Yeah, it's a little outrageous, and I wish she would have put more thought into her statement, because I am in Canada, I am a Canadian citizen, and in 2023, we don't have Zelle. We don't accept Zelle. I can't request Zelle. I don't have access to that on my phone. There's other means of sending money for Canadians, and Zelle just is not an option, and everybody knows that.
He feels bad for her. Apparently she was really stressed out, really distraught. He feels bad for her. He goes to the hotel, puts his card down at the counter or whatever, and that's it.
Okay. And then did Juan ever tell you that there was any sort of real relationship with Robin when you guys started talking, or was that clear to you when you guys were talking? Did you know that they were in a relationship, or did it?
Very clear that the relationship was for TV. It was for the fans. It was a paycheck. And that was just their obligation, right? And they needed to do what they needed to do pretty much for TV. And he made it clear that he does have that respect for Robin, but it was not a real relationship. It was just not a real loving relationship. It was just more of co-parenting and, kind of best buddies.
So then with that, it's clear that he didn't want to tell her the real story for whatever reason, even though you would think that they would be fine with it if it's just for TV.
This could sound like BS to a lot of people.
It sounded like BS to me.
Okay.
Honestly, when I found out about it, it sounded like BS to me. But he was very, he was.
You believe him?
I believe him.
Is she addicted now? We'll see. I haven't seen the license though. And I'll give you some tea at the reunion. She said, well, I was surprised that nobody found our license.
Here's my thing. You're on a reality show about your life.
Yeah.
And infidelity has been the hot topic of the season. And you've played a part in the conversations. Mm-hmm. So how do you stay silent through the season?
Girl, stop telling on yourself. I don't know if they're going to play that, but she was like, they found our registration. Robin knows she planted that registration. Y'all do remember Robin's background is in PR?
Your family business is all in a shambles.
There's probably no point of return with this one because
We got in an argument. It was very nasty on the plane.
Okay.
It
Yes.
was very embarrassing.
I witnessed. I mean, y'all aren't even speaking.
And it's not okay.
What I'm not okay with is her thinking that she can take jabs at me and I can't reciprocate. That's where I draw the line.
Okay.
So, Mia, why is it okay for you to sleep with Gordon when he was married, but then call out Jacqueline for doing the same thing?
Have you had a sexual relationship?
There was never any penetration.
Okay.
You know, we know Gordon likes others, right? And they think we're in some tobacco, like some threesome together.
Oh, us three.
Giselle, you've made Michael, Eddie, Ray, and Chris Bassett a storyline.
No one talks about relationships except for the fact that Giselle constantly attacks our husbands. So when you attack our husband, we return serve by saying, how can you attack us when we have no one in your life to even attack? Why would you bring a lie on this platform if you know it's a lie?
Because you're breathing life into it by bringing it up on the show.
So that's why she is Giselle Lax Bryant.
Use this show to lie on people.
In light of Chris had DM'd Ashley and there was a situation in which Chris made me feel completely uncomfortable.
What I heard was very disturbing. A comfort zone that does not exist for you where Chris is concerned, and
Correct.
Chris thinks that you're more comfortable than you are.
Correct.
There was a photo of Karen and this blue-eyed man. Who is Blue Eyes?
Don't need to go there.
Yeah. Let me see. No, you good. That looks like somebody you know, right? Yeah, that looks like. Let me see. Yeah, and this man potentially has blue eyes, right?
She used to think she was sneaking out of town, going to restaurants. Bitch, we see you.
By herself?
With someone that wasn't Ray.
Charisse, you came out with every accusation possible.
Whoa.
What? There's more?
You have attacked people's families. You know, I don't talk about other people's personal
That's
life
like
and
my
the
husband, a
stuff
broke
that
Bill
comes
Gates.
out, and people say things. I mean, people say you have a boyfriend. Do I talk about that? Blue Eyes or whatever his name is?
Like, here, and Carlos, I really don't talk about people. But this woman has said so much about me for some reason unbeknownst to me, because I really would never put her shit out on Front Street or say anything about her. If I wanted to say this stuff, I could have said it for season 1, season 2. It's just not my MO to put people's stuff out there, but now I don't give a fuck, so.
When you called Juan, he was as pissed as I've ever heard him.
There's no lie about that rumor about the girlfriend. I have witnesses.
Hey, so I'm here with Ashley, and Ashley's telling me that Karen has come to her and said that you have a girlfriend that has long blonde hair and that you walk the streets of Georgetown holding hands with her, and a blonde hair. You said she's like old like Karen?
Right. I'm about to hang up because this is why I don't like this.
You ladies occasionally love to party late into the night after the cameras have gone down. I'm curious, who would fans be surprised to hear gets the most turned up on those nights out?
Yes.
Really?
That's the answer.
No way.
That's it.
Really?
Yes. Yes.
What's your drink of choice?
Well, it's changed.
Karen, back in the days of our friendship, our early friendship, Karen used to drunk dial me in the afternoon. And we would have some funny little kiki moments. She is hysterical. And I'm glad she's finally letting loose and letting everybody else see.
I like the Corona in the day, but I like the old fashioned at night, the smoked old fashioned.
I love an old fashioned.
I love an old fashioned.